Hi. In this video, I wanted to show you a new Fyne project that we've been working on. It's called Defyne. It's going to be a full-featured IDE for developing your graphical-based apps with Fyne and Go. It's just got started recently, and we're very thankful to the contributors who have tried to help out already. I'd like to show you some of the functionality available. First, you'll want to install it. You could do that using the standard Go tools. We could go get github.com/Fyne io/Defyne, and that will download it, install it onto the path. If you have a newer version of Go, you might need to go install if the deprecation messages annoy you. Or you can install it into your application folder with the Fyne tool if you have it installed already, with Fyne get and the same URL, and that will set it up in your system. I've already done that, so if I search for a Defyne with my application launcher, you can see that it's found, and we can launch it just like that. What we see here is the default screen when it's not been used before. You can see there's no recent projects. So let's go ahead and create one using the New Project button. I will just choose it in my home directory for now, and we'll create the name Demo, tap the Create button. What you can see here is a standard project that's been created from a template. It has the name Demo, and it has some files that have been automatically created. You'll probably be familiar with this Go module file. We have a main.go, which is of course required to launch a Go application, and we have this GUI.json file, also named main. If we tap that, we could see what is a graphical editor. The content here is what would appear in the contents of our window. To get started, we can tap this Hello Demo label, and we can change the text. And so it will say welcome. We could also add new widgets. We've tapped the container here, so we can add a new button, for example. If we search for button in the component list and tap insert, it's going to appear in this editor. And we can make changes to this as well. Tap me, for example. And we could choose an icon from the built-in list, confirm icon, for example. As you see, these are laid out in a vertical fashion. That's because by default we have the vertical box. We could choose any other layout. Horizontal box, for example, would lay them out horizontally, but vertical is working for us just now. We can save this file. In fact, we could run this and it will show what the application looks like when it's running in a standalone window. And as you can see, it's loaded our application with the expected content in the window. It responds to the window size, and you can see that the tap animations are loading. The application isn't doing very much, however, so let's look at that next. To be able to interact with these components from our code, we can give them a name and reference them later. We fill out this variable field, so I'll call this label output, and the button let's call tap. So if we save this file and go back to our main code, we can interact with the user interface. As you can see here, our main function is fairly standard for a Fyne application. We create a new application. The application loads a new window. We've called it Demo to match the name of the project. We instantiate a new variable G from this GUI code, and then make UI is called to set the content of the window. So that's how our application is working. But we can add our own code. So if we wanted to respond to the button being tapped, for example, we could reference g.tap, that's the name of the variable that we set, and then say onTapped is a function. This one takes no parameters, it's just a simple tapped handler. And inside here, we could say g.output set text to I was tapped. Pretty straightforward. But that should be everything that we need to add a little interactivity. Now you may have noticed before, we have an embedded terminal here, which is another Fyne widget. It's something that you could plug into your application. But let's just see this work as well. We could say go run, and we use the full stop or period to indicate that all of the files in the current directory should be included in the run. And the same application has loaded again, but this time, when we tap it, the label updates to say I was tapped. And there you see some of the very early functionality of this new editor. I hope that you found it interesting. It is of course very early on, but do try it out and let us know what you think. Give us an indication of what features you would find useful, and perhaps come back again for another video when we can show off some new functionality. Bye!